Lee's Logbook. Hello and welcome to the next chapter of Lee's Logbook. I am Lee and this is yet another Pokemon Fusion. If you don't know what that means, just as a small little explanation, what I am doing here is I am taking two Pokemon and I am acting as though they would actually fuse. So I'm trying to bring them into the games. Like, what might a true Pokemon fusion look like? I did a video on a Pokemon I called Zordra, which was Caesar and Kingdra. That video will be right there if you want to go watch that beforehand. Or I don't know, somewhere up on the screen I think it comes up. Anyway, that doesn't even matter. What we are doing here, so I got some suggestions on that first video, and the first suggestion that I got, and one of the weirdest suggestions that I got was this fusion right here. We are going to take a Tepig, and we are going to take a Mewtwo, and we're going to fuse them together and see what we get. And what do we get? Well, allow me to introduce to you TETWO. So there you have it. This here is TETWO, the genetic pig Pokemon. It is a fire psychic type, which we have had a fire psychic type before. What that means is that normal, flying, poison, bug, electric, and dragon all hit it normally. It is weak to ground, rock, ghost, water, and dark. It is immune to nothing, and it resists fighting, steel, fire, grass, psychic, ice, and fairy. I decided to say that it is 5'8", 218 pounds, and the ability that it can have is either pressure or blaze. What I said in my first video is if you use Mewtwo as the base, you'll get pressure, and then if you use Tepig as the base, you'll get blaze. That's pretty much what I said in the other video. So depending on who the base is, that's the ability that you end up getting. Pressure and blaze, they don't necessarily do much for you as far as usability of this Pokemon, but let's get into what was definitely the hardest thing to do for this Pokemon. Find its stats. Alright, so here are TETWO's stats. It has an HP stat of 85, an attack stat of 90, a defense stat of 60, a special attack stat of 123, a special defense stat of 60, and a speed stat of 110 for a grand total of 528. That is its base stat total. Now let me give you my reasoning for what exactly happened here. Mewtwo is a legendary Pokemon. So he has some very, very high stats. Tepig is the first evolution in a 3-evolution chain, so Tepig does not have the highest stats. So, because these base stat totals were so different, and a fusion between the two, you kind of have to find some sort of middle ground. What I decided to do is say, okay, I'm going to make the base stats more along the lines of what Mewtwo has. So Mewtwo has high HP, high attack, high special attack, and high speed. Basically, its defense and special defense are still pretty okay, but they're not its highest stats. So I'm going to follow that model, but I gotta power it down a bit, because, you know, Tepig. It's got, like, I don't know, HP and attack, but both are in the 60s, and then the rest of its stats are just 45s. Alright, so, with that being the, with that being the ground rules, as far as the base stat total is concerned, the 528, where the heck did I get that number? I actually got that number from Mewmore, Tepig's final evolution. So I took Embor's base stat total, which is 528, and I decided to say, okay, the fusion of these two, 528, is sort of in that middle ground. It's not like legendary level, and so I think I can go with that. So that is how I landed on this stat line, and I actually think this stat line isn't too bad. I mean, of course, kind of glass cannony. The defense and special defense are pretty low at 60, but 85 HP isn't too bad. 90 attack, you could do something with it, but really where you're going to focus here is special attack and speed. Special attack of 123 and a speed of 110. So, as far as movesets are concerned, the first one that I could come up with is a Life Orb set. You got Flamethrower, you got Psy Strike because of Mewtwo. Oh man, okay, so Flamethrower, Psy Strike, Aura Sphere, Energy Ball, all these great special moves. Aura Sphere is great for coverage. You could take care of those dark types that you're weak to. Energy Ball is great for coverage because you could hit a ground, a rock, or a water type. All moves you're weak to, like all things that would try to switch in on you. You could just Energy Ball it away, Aura Sphere it away if it's a dark type. The only one, like, TETWO also gets Shadow Ball coverage for that ghost type coverage, but for this set, I don't know. I think having the Stab, Psy Strike, and Flamethrower was a little more priority. You could always swap out Aura Sphere or Energy Ball for a Shadow Ball instead, and that would also work. Ghost type hits great to a lot of types. You're probably going to put, 252 EVs in special attack, 252 EVs in speed, most likely a timid or potentially modest nature, one of those natures. But yeah, I mean, it's a special attack. The second set that I thought was maybe like a choice specs, let's just demolish whatever's in front of us. So you get Fire Blast, Psy Strike, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, all of these really huge hard-hitting moves with, Fire Blast and Focus Blast upgraded from Aura Sphere and Flamethrower. Of course, you do have the 70% hint rate on those, but if you manage to hit, you're gonna do loads of damage. So why the heck wouldn't you take the chance, especially when you're locking yourself into one move with choice specs here. There isn't really a good way to switch out. That is one thing that neither of their movesets really gave me, which was a way to switch out, a way to get out, like maybe a U-turn or something, anything. They didn't have any of it. So definitely kind of unsafe. You can lock yourself in and then you'd have to hard switch out. That's really the only way you're getting out of there. But altogether, I think it's a solid Pokemon. It's solid. I know I did 3 movesets for the last one, but honestly, I don't know what else really. I mean, maybe like a choice Scarf set as well. That could work. But a choice Scarf set, the moves would also be very, very similar. I couldn't really think of like a super different set. You could go offensive. It does have a base attack of 90, but I didn't think it was high enough to where like you could really like that there would really be a reason. Like it's made to be a special attacker. That's basically all there is to it. So second fusion down. This was ridiculous, but I hope you had fun. I had fun, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.